There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes something inside is changing. The life she once accepted no longer fits. The silence she once tolerated becomes too heavy. The dreams she once buried began to speak again. Across the world, women are questioning everything they were taught about who they are supposed to be. They are rebuilding, they are redefining, they are rising. Rooted in Rising Radio is where those conversations began. This is a space for truth, a space for courage, a space for women who are ready to reclaim their voice, their power, their purpose. Here we talk about healing, identity, business, faith, reinvention, and the real journey of becoming the woman you were always meant to be. If you're in a season of transformation, if you feel the pull toward something greater, if you know deep inside your spirit that you are meant not to play small, you are not alone. You are not behind. You are simply between seasons. Welcome to Rooted in Rising Radio, the sound of women rising.
Welcome to our second episode of Rooted and Rising Radio here on the Saturday morning. I hope you guys are enjoying the Saturday. It is beautiful here today. Went outside, messed with the dogs a little bit. So if you hear dogs barking, it's because they're outside and they're working on our road. So you might hear a lot of noise. Anyway, since I don't have my own studio, I do most everything in the confines of my office. All right. So, again, welcome to Rooted and Rising Radio. I am just so excited to be here. I am so excited to do this radio show. I told you guys I was trying to get it going, trying to see what I wanted to do. You can always go and listen to our radio show on Airtime Pro. But we're here today. And I want to definitely say to each and every one of you guys, thank you for all of the help, all of the wonderful people I have met since I've started really doing this, helping women transform little by little. This is not something that you just jump into. This is something you do little by little. I have always been a person to advocate. I was always a person to be an activist. I was always a person to kind of teach and instruct and guide. Always. I was just trying to figure out what my purpose was. And I figured that is my purpose. I hope I never get tired of it. I have some days, but majority of the time and especially when I hear the testimonies. That the testimonies and anybody who does this type of business, and I'm doing it on a small scale, very small scale. I am not up there, but I'm doing this on a small scale, and I love it because to me, that's what matters is the little things, the little comments you get from people who you've touched and you've made difference in their lives. That's what makes my day. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a schedule how I do this. Okay, so Rooted and Rising radio station runs 24 hours a day. Okay, um, so if by chance you're interested in getting one of your podcasts, Women of Color podcasts, on our show, just let me know. Okay, definitely on our show. I meant to say on our station. Just let me know. Okay, um, we can talk and we can do that. Also, I do Rooted and Rising radio show. I do the podcast on my Substack. So check me out over on Substack .com, Salida McCall. And I actually do a podcast on there. I think I'm on my sixth episode over there. So you can check me out on there. I try to do a podcast Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays is usually what I try to schedule myself to do. Then I just started this on Saturdays because this is our second episode. I also do a legacy liftoff, which goes with the You Can't Clip My Wings, which is our website, with can'tclipmywings.com. Um, you can That's our website. Visit our website. You can also check me out on our legacy liftoff, which I do every Saturday and Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock and Saturdays at 7:30, which I air on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, which you can go over there and watch it over there at celetab. That is my YouTube channel. I'm supposed to be, for some reason, it's not acting right over there right now. But anyway, so you can definitely uh, check out our shows on there. Now that's on Wednesdays and Saturdays. On Thursday, I have a show that's called Empower Her Talk Show that literally comes on uh, public access channel in Lafayette. I either do it live or sometimes I do pre-recordings, but most of the time I try to do it live. So you can catch me live on 7 o'clock. All these are Central Standard Time on AOCinc.org. Okay, and that's 7 o'clock on Thursdays. And that's this channel 2, because they have 3 channels, but it's channel 2. You can catch me over there. So this is just going to be like a sort of like today's show is going to be dealing with, and I've already done it over on my Substack because I did it Friday. But it was so touching. I wanted to bring it over here to you guys. But before we get started, I just want to, let's play some music before we get started.
I talk too fast, you check your phone. I laugh it off, but it cuts to the bone. You say you're here, but your eyes drift past. I'm stuck on pause while you play me half. I need you to listen, not fix me, not spin it. Just sit in the silence, hear what I don't say. I need you to listen to the cracks, to the distance. If you can't stand my quiet, how can you stay? I swallow words till my chest feels tight. You call me cold when I choose not to fight. You hug and hurry every heavy truth. I don't need answers, I just needed you. I need you to listen, not fix me, not spin it. Just sit in the silence, hear what I don't say. I need you to listen to the cracks, to the distance. If you can't stand my quiet, how can you stay? Can you hear the shaking in my breath? Can you hear the history in my rest? I am trying, are you with me, are you trying? I need you to listen, not fix me, not spin it. Just sit in the silence, hear what I don't say. I need you to listen to the cracks, to the distance. If you can't meet me honest, please walk away.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
You're tuned into the station where women's voices lead the way, where truth hits different, where power sounds like us, and every story lifts the whole community. Beat drops, hype energy, turn it up, tap in, feel the rise, the sound of women moving mountains. You're tuned into the station where women's voices lead the way, where truth hits different, where power sounds like us, and every story lifts the whole community. Beat drops, hype energy, turn it up, tap in, feel the rise, the sound of women moving mountains. You're tuned into the station where women's voices lead the way, where truth hits different, where power sounds like us, and every story lifts the whole community. Beat drops, hype energy, turn it up, tap in, feel the rise.
Welcome back to the Rooted and Rising radio show, our Saturday morning show. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You know, I am a person, I love talking about different subject matters, and we're going to be working here on the Survival Mode Nation series here. I'm probably going to also be working from this side, and I'm also going to be probably definitely reiterating some of these topics over on our Substack. So you definitely can listen to it either way it goes. You can listen to it on that end. Okay, so again, welcome to the Rooted and Rising Saturday morning show. I'm just so elated to be here, and I hope you guys are too. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, today's show, as you know, it's almost like a question, but it's going to also be a reflection of a lot of things that have taken place in our lives. Okay, for sure, we're going to be talking about, and the question is, who taught women to suffer silently? That's the conversation today. Who taught women to suffer silently? And I bet you're like, what? What does that mean? Okay. So let's look at it from this. Some women are dying emotionally while appearing functional. Let's say that again. Some women are dying, okay? Some women are dying emotionally while still appearing functional. And you wonder, like, how does that work? A lot of us are wearing these different types of masks. And when we wear these masks, we look a certain way. We put on our beautiful makeup. We put on our beautiful lipsticks, and our hair, make sure it looks beautiful. You know, we dress up very nicely. You know, we put our shapewear on, our rings, our whole 9 yards. You know, our earrings. You know, we make sure when we walk out that door, we look the part. But inside, we are slowly but surely suffering. And it's so easy to smile and be nice to everyone, right? Um, they answer texts. We go to work. We take care of everybody. Smile in public, wow, how is your day going? The whole 9 yards, right? We encourage everyone else. Things are going to get better for you. Look, we're going to have lunch, right? And quietly at home, we collapse and we go and we take off all this beauty that we walk around in all day. And the real us shows up. And sometimes that us, that real us doesn't always look nice. Okay? Sometimes that real us, let's see if I can do that. Sometimes the real us don't always look our finest. Okay? Right? Because somewhere along the way, being the strong one stopped being a compliment and becomes survival. So keep that in mind when we're acting like everything is fine. Okay? So, again, welcome to Rooted and Rising Radio. Okay? Today, like I said, we're talking something many women carry silently, of the exhaustion behind always being the dependable one, right? The helper, the fixer, the emotional available one, the woman everyone leans on, while no one notices she is emotionally disappearing. Let that sit for a moment. Like they say, let that marinate for a moment. Now, society romanticizes women, or we call it strong women. I got me a strong woman. I think strong women are such this, and I think strong women are such that. But rarely ask what strength is costing them. What is strength truly costing them? Right? Women are taught the strength, excuse me, women are taught very early to endure, to carry, to nurture, to sacrifice. And many women were rewarded more for what they could survive than who they actually were. Right? So, when we look at it from that standpoint, we want to talk about the inherent of silent suffering. So, what do you mean about the inherent of silent suffering? Because, again, we just described all the things women have to live up to for society, for family, for life in general, right? And we just talked about the ideal that society romanticizes strong women. Now, some people resent strong women, okay? Some people resent strong women, okay? But others are so like enlightened to know that women can be strong, that women can do all this. And oh my God, I admire all the things you do. But we steady suffer in silence. That's the problem. We suffer in silence. Because at a young age, we were told, remember, I just said we were told, okay, to carry, to nurture, to sacrifice. And we're rewarded for these things. We're not rewarded for just being ourselves. We're rewarded for all the things that we can endure, all the things we can put on our shoulders and carry, which majority of the time is the world. Okay? It's mainly the world. So, and this is, I want to say this. This is nothing against our mothers, our aunties, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers. This is nothing against them, but we need to definitely talk about this. We need to definitely make sure we're making this a straight point and it gets out there. Women are often raised inside emotional contradiction. Hold your horses. What do you mean? Are you talking about the way my mom raised me? No, I'm saying, and I just mentioned that women are often raised inside emotional contradiction. Being nurturing, but do not ask too much in return. Be supportive, okay, but do not become difficult. Mm. Be strong, but never be angry. Be accommodating, but never inconvenient. Be beautiful, but never confident. Be emotional available, but never emotionally overwhelming. Don't put too much on them, okay? From a very early age, many girls learn that love often tied to performance. The way that we act, right, is the reason why people love us. They give us all they love by the action we do. So that means that if I don't act, I don't get loved. We can kind of slip validation in there too. If I don't be a good little girl, then I don't deserve love from mommy or daddy or excuse me, or mommy and daddy, uncle and auntie, grandma and grandpa. Nobody will love me unless I perform, and unless I don't act like those ways I just mentioned, right? So we have to be likable, right? Emotional management. We got to do all these, and we have to learn to sacrifice. Those are the things they want us to take on. This is part of who we are, right? As young ladies, as grown women. And over time, many women become experts at carrying pain invisibly. So you're not, I already said you can't be angry, you can't be frustrated. You just have to take it. And you know, I mentioned about my mom. My mom was one of those people that I didn't know that she was suffering in silence. We didn't. She was a single mom just trying to raise girls. We never saw that behind the scenes. We never saw the crying. We never saw that. We just saw my mom being mom. We never knew all that other stuff was going on because, hey, she had to be the mom. So we admire our mothers. We We idolize our parents, the whole 9 years, but we don't know what they suffer from. We don't see it, hear it. So there's a whole different ball game happening when when they're living, in silence. And this doesn't happen because they're naturally built for suffering. No human is, right? But because society rewards women who make their suffering easier for others to do what? To tolerate. I love that. It's all right to make everybody else comfortable as long as you're uncomfortable. Let me say that again. Your job is to make everybody else comfortable while you are uncomfortable. And we live this out because we've found a way to cope, to quietly suffer. Mm, mm, mm. So, women plead while exhausted. Women who continue giving while totally pleading. Women who continue to nurture while being emotionally neglected. And eventually, silence becomes their identity. Think about that. Silence becomes, that's my husband, for some reason. And eventually, silence becomes our identity. So next, let's talk about the ideal. We're going to take a break real quick, and we will be back. Let's see here.
Your ex confronted me today when I was shopping for groceries. He said, I hope you're okay, and I hope you love her too. I hope you don't do the things she did to me to you. 'Cause she took my heart and she tore it apart. Said I never loved you. She said we'd stay together and she wanted to be forever. And I said me too. She left me broken and bruised, and I know it's all so new. But baby, trust me, the feeling won't be true. Your ex confronted me today when I was shopping for groceries. He said, I hope you're okay, and I hope you love her too. I hope you don't do the things she did to me, to you.
They said you talk pretty, slick smile, quick hands, They circled your name like a storm on a map. They said you'd leave early, shoes on, door half closed, that you kissed like a secret you never planned to keep. They tried to warn me about you, but I wanted the crash, not the parachute. Saw every sign on the way, still I ran straight through. They tried to warn me about you, and I heard every word, but I chose the bruise. Now I'm here in the wreck, and it's all in your cologne. You showed up late Sunday, coffee, crack, screen, phone, calling me trouble like you own the word. You laughed at my softness, said I cared too much, told me I was too invested. They tried to warn me about you, but I wanted the spark, not the safer truth. Turned every red light green just to feel it bloom. They tried to warn me about you, and I heard every word, but I love the view. Now the room smells like ash, and it all looks like you. Did you always scripted? Did you practice those lies? Or did you count my questions while you wasted my time? They tried to warn me about you, but I wanted the fall, not the parachute. Held on to the heat while you burned right through. They tried to warn me about you, and I heard every word, but I chose you too. Now I'm stitching my heart where it tore into. They tried to warn me, warn me, warn me. They tried to warn me.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah,
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I learned patience.
All right, we are back. We are back. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome again to Rooted in Rising Radio. I am your host, Coach Salita, and we're here talking about why women suffer quietly. Okay? While strong women suffer quietly. Let me get that right. Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Now let's get back to what we were talking about. You guys, I'm at that time where and it gets hot, right? So we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and get back into conversation. So now we're talking about the romanticizing of strong women. Where did that concept come from, right? So there's a cultural obsession with strong women, and we talked about that earlier, right? But the strength is often misunderstood, right? Many women praised as strong are actually overburdened. You know, when I heard that statement, I was like, what? Make that make sense. So let me say that again because I want you to understand. Many women who are praised as strong are actually overburdened. How they say it? Let that marinate. So they're emotionally unsupported, hyper I wanted to say interdependent, but it's independent, trauma adapted, and exhausted. And why is that? Because they continue to function. Society gets in their minds that they're fine. Because believe it or not, you guys, there are a lot of women out here that don't have anyone to talk to. They don't have family members, they don't have friends because the trauma, the trust has eroded in them. So they go through life living, surviving. Because remember, we're talking survival modes, okay? So they go through life just surviving, okay? Nothing else. They function and you smile, like we talked earlier about smiling and going through just doing everything that making sure everybody is comfortable without being uncomfortable, right? Our whole mission is to make sure everybody is taken care of but ourselves. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Okay, let's keep that in mind. That majority of the time, we're more concerned about everybody else and not about ourselves. Okay, and we have to understand everybody thinks we're functioning, right? But what functioning is doing is it's not making the distinction between healing because no one's healing. We're just getting through. We're just getting up every day and moving into this life that we're trying to live, life that we're trying to function in, right? So we can go to work, raise the children, answer calls, encourage others, and maintain all the responsibilities and still be emotionally starving. That is deep. And a lot of women die from stress. A lot of women stroke from stress. And when they make that saying that stress kills, it's not lying. Stress does kill. The heart can be overwhelmed with so much, and a lot of people don't see it. Even other women won't recognize it. And the reason why other women don't recognize it because they don't look, I'm a strong woman. So they go through life being strong too, not even recognizing or in denial that that same problem with strength is in their life. It's them too. That same feeling that they're getting, they're in denial of it. They don't want anybody to know that they're feeling that way. So they don't see it in others because they can't, no one has ever allowed them to realize it in themselves. They haven't done it. I tell my students, that I keep a mirror sitting right here. And this mirror is not a vanity mirror. I don't use it. I mean, I use it when I'm putting on my makeup, but I also use it to look at myself, to every now and then look at myself and say something nice to me. And look, everybody has their own way of doing things, right? Everybody has their own rituals, okay? Rituals are just things that we do every day. It has nothing to do with witchcraft or anything like that. Rituals are just some things that we do every day. We ritually get up, take a shower, get dressed, brush our teeth, wash our face, the whole 9 yards. Those are rituals, things we constantly do over and over again. That's all it is. So when we use the word ritual, people sometimes take that as, oh my God, she's in witchcraft. No, ritual just means those are things that you do all the time. So I look at myself in my mirror sitting here every now and then, because if I don't look at and see me in that mirror, I'm seeing somebody else. I'm coming up out of here. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying because it's me looking at me and knowing me and being comfortable with me. And that's what we have to do. And that is one form of, not only is it a form of shadow work, but it's also a form of healing. You can really, really look at yourself and say, this is really me. This is me. I cannot believe I said that. I cannot believe I believe that. I have to do that for me. I have to admit to me that sometimes I lie. Sometimes I'm hypocritical. Sometimes I'm contradicting. Sometimes I'm controversial. I curse. I forget. I get mad. I go off. I have to say that to me. I have trauma. I get depressed. I can say those things to me. I'm not, I cannot be anybody else but me. So when you're comfortable with admitting who you are, that is just one portion of the healing that you deserve for you, not for anybody else. This is all you. Okay? So, in private, we break down. In private, we come to a point where we don't feel valued. In private, we can look at ourselves and say, you know what? I've taken enough. I've been very tolerant. I've been very patient. I need to let this out. I need to let it go. But we let it go to ourselves, but we don't take, when we go back out there, we put back on that smile and we're so nice and bring the kids over and the whole 9 yards. We'll keep putting that on. But in private, we are breaking. We're doing that. We are overwhelmed. And people get our strength, right? Mixed up. Or people get our strength not recognizing that we're truly overburdened. And some people never get it. Some people, husbands, kids, never get it. Okay? Family members never get it. And you're suffering. They don't get it. They want to, some of them, but a lot of them don't really care because we've given them that open door to with no boundaries to say and do whatever they want, to put you through so much for nothing. But because you don't say anything, this is what happens, right? So you're breaking, you're feeling alone, right? And because of all that, you don't feel like you have the permission, since I don't know why you need permission, to fall apart. You don't have permission to fall apart at all, right? Because we'll go back to our childhood. What did we learn as a child? What did we learn? We learned to do what? To nurture, to be nice, not too confident, not an inconvenience. We taught all of those things. To just love. And the only way that you're going to get loved back is to perform the niceness and the coyness and the tootie tootie cootie cootie. That's the only way mommy and daddy and boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever loves you back, right? Or show you love. You got to show it first. So they carry, and another thing is, we learn that vulnerability creates a discomfort to some. They carry everything quietly. We go through it and we carry everything quietly. Okay, we go through it. We carry our grief, right? The disappointment, the resentment, the emotional exhaustion, the loneliness, and perhaps most painfully, the feeling that nobody notices how heavy life becomes. So, before we go any further, I just keep doing it. I want to go ahead and we're going to take a break.
I heard you say you're tired, like every color is drained away. Mornings feel like mountains, even breathing feels like weight. I know that kind of quiet, where every thought cuts to the bone. But you are not your worst days. You're more than what your head has shown. You have so much to live for, more than you can see tonight. There are laughs you haven't laughed yet, hands you haven't held that tight. You have so much to live for, even if you can't believe. So when you feel like letting go, lean on me and stay and breathe. There's coffee with a stranger who might turn into a friend. A song you write at midnight that you'll never want to end. A road you haven't driven, where the rain lets down its guard. A day you'll finally tell yourself, I made it this far. That's hard. You have so much to live for, more than you can see tonight. There are laughs you haven't laughed yet, hands you haven't held that tight. You have so much to live for, even if you can't believe. So when you feel like letting go, lean on me and stay and breathe. You don't have to be the Even if you can't believe. So when you think it's all been said, I'll be here. Just stay and breathe.
There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes something inside is changing. The life she once accepted no longer fits. The silence she once tolerated becomes too heavy. The dreams she once buried began to speak again. Across the world, women are questioning everything they were taught about who they are supposed to be. They are rebuilding. They are redefining. They are rising. Rooted in Rising Radio is where those conversations began. This is a space for truth, a space for courage, a space for women who are ready to reclaim their voice, their power, their purpose. Here we talk about healing, identity, business, faith, reinvention, and the real journey of becoming the woman you were always meant to be. If you're in a season of transformation, if you feel the pull toward something greater, if you know deep inside your spirit that you are meant not to play small, you are not alone. You are not behind. You are simply between seasons. Welcome to Rooted in Rising Radio, the sound of women rising.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council. Adoption of teens from foster.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council. We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more.
We're back here on the Rooted and Rising Radio Saturday show. So we're almost at the end of this conversation or discussion, and definitely hit me up if you have any comments, if you want to share any of your stories with us here on Rooted and Rising Radio. Soon and very soon we'll be having a call-in line. I promise you we will. And you can join our panel when we're having these discussions. Definitely you can do that. So I want to kind of tell you again about some of the classes that I do. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So first Mondays of every month is our Renewal Mondays. That's preparing you for the rest of the month, right? So we do a class. The last class we did was the first light ritual. We did some breathing exercises. We talked about different things that we could do to get us prepared for that month. Then on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, we do our Legacy Liftoff series, where we talk about a lot of things. We just got through finishing up an ebook that I wrote, Miscalculating the Black Woman's Story in History. So we just finished that book. Now we're about to do another ebook, which will be starting when we come back, because we're on a miniature vacation right now. So we won't be back until May 22nd. And then we do a Saturday class, which that's at 7:30. And it's part of the Legacy Liftoff series. It's just the second part of it. So they have 2 days out of the week that they can actually get a chance to learn and discuss different things. Now, our first Mondays, I need to go back to the first Monday. The first Mondays is by email invite only. So if you're interested, you let me know, and I'll send you an email during that time prior to the scheduled time, which is the first Monday, and it comes on at 7 o'clock. I'll send you an email with the information in it so you can join the class. Then on Thursdays, I actually have a television show I do called the Empower Her Talk Show. And I do that on aocinc.org. And that is live, and that is at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so if you want to join that class, it's not a class actually, it's just a show. You can go and join it. And I'm also on YouTube at that time too. So I do YouTube. I have a YouTube channel at celetab, which some of these shows come on. Then I have also Instagram. You can catch me at Instagram at YCCMW2020. You can see me at Salida McCall on Facebook. Also on Facebook, I have a YCCMW2020 Facebook page that you can go to. Okay. And then I just started doing the Saturday morning show, which I'm going to probably get into the good habit of sharing this stuff. Now, I also have a Substack that you can go listen to some of the podcasts on there. I just started the podcast on there, but you can go back and join and subscribe to my Substack, because the same information, not the same information the same way, all of this is going to be, and it always has been, surrounded by uplifting and empowering African American women or women of color. Okay, because I think we're the greatest things walking. I'm sorry, I just do. That's not cockiness, that's confidence, and we need that, because if you guys know, there has been a onslaught attack on Black women, and this has been going on for I'll give it about 4 or 5 years now, an onslaught on us. And it got worse in 2024. For some reason, the whole atmosphere changed. And it's been an onslaught, like continuing. It got really, really prominent in 2024, which I don't know what changed that. And it's ongoing. So I'm here to comfort you. And now I will chastise, but I'm also here to understand, hey, it's something deeper in you, something down in you that's better. I'm no therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. Please do not get it twisted. I am not a licensed therapist. I am a certified coach. That's what I am. A certified life coach, a certified empowerment coach. That's all I am. So, and I'm saying that in a level that I can talk. I know sometimes somebody asks me, was you a licensed therapist? No, because I probably sound like one. But if you understand my background, you'll see why I sound like one. That's a whole nother story, right? But no, learning how to, if I don't look at me again, I can't tell you, okay? I'm not saying everybody feels the same way and people react to the same things all the time, but I'm just saying if I don't know me as a woman, then I can't say anything, right? I can't talk. I don't live your lives. This is my lived experience is what I can tell you. And when I hear the stories of other women's lived experience and they relate, then that's the only thing I can do, right? And my job is to guide. My job is to see you move forward in whatever endeavors you're trying to get. But my job also is for you to recognize you in you. So that's what I love doing. I love pulling that little girl up and showing her to the world. I love you looking at you and saying, I didn't think about it like that. That to me is awesome to hear a woman say that. Now that you put it that way, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. That makes me feel like, okay, they're listening, they hear it, they know it. And sometimes you have to do that, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and get going. I didn't mean to get off sidebar there, but I wanted to let you guys know that's basically my schedule. First Mondays of every month by email only that you're invited to our class. Wednesdays and Saturdays, Wednesdays at 7 o'clock and Saturdays at 7:30, the Legacy Liftoff. And on Thursdays at 7 p.m., AOCinc.org is the Empower Her Talk Show. And then Saturday, as you can see, Rooted in Rising Radio Morning Show. Okay? And we'll definitely continue doing this until, I can no longer do it, right? So let's go ahead to our next section. So women are often rewarded for self-abandonment. What does that mean? We said that earlier. So what does that mean? This is one of the most painful truths many women eventually have to confront. You've been a strong little girl today. I want to take you shopping. Oh, I think now you need a vacation. Your hair sitting all over your head, right? Your face is all crazy. But now I need a vacation, right? Society often praises women most when they are disappearing inside themselves, when they're overgiving, overextending, self sacrificing, emotionally accommodating, and endless availability to everybody because we don't have any what? Boundaries in place. So women are celebrated for the endurance more than the emotional honesty because I don't want to hear, oh gosh, please do not share with me your discomforts, discomforts. I don't want to hear it, okay? I'm really not. Oh my God, is she going to start talking like that? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear how great your life is. I want to live in your big, beautiful life, everything that's going great for you. And because of this, many women confuse suffering with love. Yeah. So they believe love means tolerating mistreatment. Strength means never needing help because that's what we're being taught. Femininity means emotional silence. And being good means self-erasure. So they remain quiet. We remain quiet. I'm saying they, and I shouldn't use they because I'm included in this. We remain quiet. Even when we're hurting, even when we are depleted, even when we desperately need support. Because somewhere deep inside of us, we fear something. We fear if I become too emotional, too needy, too honest, they ask the question, will I still be loved? Will people still love me? Will people think that I am worth the love? the attention that I get if I just become me, if I just settle and say, now I'm stepping up for me. Something to think about. Okay? Something to think about. So, the emotional cost of quiet suffering. Silenced pain does not disappear. It transforms, sometimes into anxiety, sometimes into numbness, sometimes into rage, sometimes into depression, sometimes into emotional detachment, sometimes into exhaustion so deep that the body begins carrying what the mouth never spoke. So sometimes women, and this is not offense to any, I'm not trying to offend any woman who is heavy. A lot of that is just not an eating disorder. It's a lot of that is carrying the stress. If you ever notice some women, when they first get married, they're beautiful, they watch their weight, they do all these things. The marriage, then comes the kids, and you slowly but surely sees her gain weight. And you know that's not like her. She's very athletic, she gets out, she does things. But she seems to never get back to that size she was. Not to say that she needs to get back to that size, but you can see, because you're around her all the time, you can see she's not as happy. She's not as juvenile. She wants to go to the gym. She wants to work out. She wants to go for walks. But she don't have the strength to do it. And you don't want to say anything to her because you don't want her to feel offended, or you want to be able to talk to her about how she's really dealing. You want to ask her, how are you really feeling right now? How are things working out for you right now? But you want to tread lightly with that, because you don't want her to, you think she needs to break, because if she breaks, then she knows that she has to build herself back up. And you have to, being a friend, you have to be there. But you slowly but surely notice that all the worries and being there, doing this, and no one's there to say, hey, hold up, sit back, relax for a minute. And then sometimes when we do relax, we get so relaxed, we don't want to even get back in the mode of being that other person we were. So instead of things getting better, they get worse. She gets comfortable in her uncomfortability. She becomes comfortable in her uncomfortability because she doesn't know how to face the no boundaries, the exhaustion, the trauma, the being there for everyone, the burden carrier. She doesn't know anything else. And no one has ever tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, look, you're doing too much. Relax, rest. Go find yourself. But you need to walk away. But wait, the husband, unsupported, and I'm not saying that about all husbands, but some husbands don't even, they're so caught up on what they need that they don't even see that they're putting her through. They don't see it. They don't. They don't recognize it. Because you know what she doesn't do? She doesn't cry in front of him, because then he'll say, oh, she's going through her emotional thing. It must be her menopause. It must be this. It must be that. Oh, she's just being a woman. But men who understand, they understand and they step in and they help out. But a lot of men don't. Because a lot of men have been taught that whenever a woman is being emotional, just leave her alone. Don't ask her questions. Don't bother her. Just leave her alone. Let her go through that. Oh, she's just. Men have been taught to never take us serious when we're going through those moments. Not all men, but a lot of them do. They don't. It don't trigger in their minds that she's going through some things until it's too late. And men sit up and they complain about their wives going through these stages of total exhaustion, going through these stages of not being able to be there for herself. They sit up and talk about it with their friends and laugh and giggle and like little girls. Not to demean any man, I'm just saying what I've seen. When I listen to men talk about their wives, about how they don't even recognize what she's going through until it's too late. Oh, I didn't know that's what was going on. You didn't tell me. Of course, she didn't tell you. She couldn't tell you. She couldn't tell you because you would have used it as a weapon against her. That's why she couldn't tell you about it. She couldn't tell you that when you're asleep, she's thinking about what needs to be done for the next day. The kids' dinner appointment, basketball, football. There's no time in her schedule for herself. Even at work, when she's supposed to be doing lunch, she's sitting at her desk doing work and eating. Nobody is taking in consideration that she needs her time. And then, when she blows up, oh my God, I can't believe you said that to me. Well, I was just trying to. That's the man. Well, mom is being mean to me. Kids. Because now she's taking all she can take. But nobody's been there for her. Nobody. And mom, as little kids, our mothers, sit down and say, well, you got to do this. I did this for your dad. And they give you all these anti-romantic stories they do to maintain the family. And we carry that as a badge of honor. My mom was strong. Had no idea she was suffering in silence. And she's taught not to talk about how she's suffering. Because after a while, the love is not there. And I'm not saying someone doesn't love you, but the love that used to be shown, it's not being shown. The appreciation, everything is now performative now in the relationships that you have with people, with your family. Everything is performative now. It means it just happens because it's supposed to happen. It's a cycle. So everybody keeps doing the same thing. Kids get together as they get older to come together for Mother's Day, give you the same presents. No one ever truly asks you how you feel. It's just mom's gonna cook today, dad's gonna be there, the whole 9 performances that we put on for Mother's Day, for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, the same thing over and over again. And we make that normal. And all the time, she's suffering inside, silently, because she didn't have a time to break down. People come and go in and out of her life, dying, new babies born. Go take her over to grandma. Flop the baby on grandma's lap. You a new grandmother again. Baby showers. Anniversaries, same old, the cycle. and she still haven't said how she's really feeling inside. And sometimes, and I said it earlier, women die quietly. They've already been dead inside, but they die, and everybody then wants to give the fanfare. She was a good mother. She was a good auntie. She was a good grandma. She was a hell of a wife. Just saying. I'm just saying. And we have to get in our mind that many women are not simply tired physically, they're tired spiritually, they're tired emotionally, they're tired psychologically, and they're just tired of just surviving. They're tired of carrying, I told you earlier, this burden, the invisible labor that just goes with just surviving because they have not had that room to heal. And out of all of those things, they are tired of being emotionally responsible for everybody. For everybody. And we don't get it. We don't get the ideal that within us, we carry other people's energies, we carry other people's emotions, and we don't really need to, but we don't know how. We don't know how because we're still in this survival mode. I got to get through today. I got to do this. We're in this mode and we're dying inside. Just imagine a woman who never had kids, never got married. I have an auntie that passed away. She never got married and never had kids, but she was always around kids. There were always kids around her. She had nephews and nieces and grandnieces and great nieces, nephews, and the whole net. But there was always kids around her. But she never had her own kids. She never got married. If I'm not mistaken, she never had a boyfriend. She was sick at a young age, and she wound up being staying at home with my grandma and grandpa. So she never, just imagine, never having kids, never getting married, never leaving from under your mom and dad. So I'm not saying that she was sad because she didn't have children. I'm not saying she sad because, but I'm just saying probably there was a certain type of loneliness that she lived with all her life. And the only people that fulfilled her was her nephews and nieces and grandnieces and, sisters and brothers. That was it. But she passed away. I think she was 66, which is very young. So she never got a chance to express those feelings. She never probably understood what it was to be loved by other than family. So that's why it's so important. And I'm feeling kind of soft right now because this is like a wake up call for me. This is a wake up call for you to understand that you don't put things in your life to make you happy. You have to be happy with yourself. Having a whole bunch of grandchildren is beautiful. Having a whole bunch of kids is beautiful. But it doesn't take away the ideal that you're still lonely inside because you haven't healed from the survival mode or any type of trauma that you've dealt with in your life. Right? So, we were talking about us being tired of being emotionally responsible for everyone. tired of pretending that it's okay, because the world feels more comfortable, when I said that earlier, when women suffer gracefully. When we go in our closets and cry. When we have a moment where, I don't want them to see me go through this. No, I don't want, I'll be back. And they go in the restrooms or whatever, and they get it out, and they come back and they put their makeup on and they put that smile on their face and keep going, because that's what we're taught to do, right? And then there's a time when the performance that we put on becomes unbearable. We can no longer continue with the performance, because no real human being was meant to carry so much emotional pain alone for long periods of time. No human being, right? And so that's what we have to look at. That's what we have to definitely know, that you're not supposed to do this alone. But you have to recognize it, because the problem lots of times is we just don't recognize it, because we've made it a norm. We have not detached it from us. Once we detach it from ourselves, then we can see, right? We can see then, right? So, you listen to Rooted and Rising radio show. We shall return.
If you're not sure what to say, sometimes it's okay to walk away. If it gets to be too much, it's okay to walk away. If you gave it all you got, it's okay to walk away. If you tried everything, it's okay to walk away. If you really need a change, it's okay to walk away. If the joy is louder than the pain, it's okay to walk away. And if I have a hard time loving you, it's okay to walk away. If the joy is louder than the pain, it's okay to walk away. If you gave it all you got, it's okay to walk away. If you tried everything, it's okay to walk away. If you really need a change, it's okay to walk away. And if I have a hard time loving you, it's okay to walk away. And if I have a hard time loving you, it's okay to walk away. And if you gave it all you got, it's okay to walk away. And if you tried everything, it's They try to chain my fire down low, but flames don't bow. They only grow a spark inside, a voice to show the world my name is written bold. We rise like the sun in the sky. No fear, no lies, just truth in our eyes. We're queens, we shine. No crown we deny. We rise, let our spirits fly. My roots are deep, my soul's a tree. Branches stretch wide, unbroken, free. Through storms I stand, through hate I see. The strength of all who came through me. They said hush, we said no. They said stop, we let it show. We rise like the sun in the sky. No fear, no lies, just truth in our eyes. We're queens, we shine. No crown we deny. We rise, let our spirits fly. Praise of power, skin of gold, stories fierce, territory. Every step, a drumbeat bold. We're history's treasure, unmeasured, untold.
You're tuned into the station where women's voices lead the way, where truth hits different, where power sounds like us, and every story lifts the whole community. Beat drops, hype energy, turn it up, tap in, feel the rise, the sound of women moving mountains. Ooh. You're tuned in.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
Welcome back to Rooted in Rising Radio, our Saturday morning show. I just gave you my schedule earlier before. Now I'm just kind of letting you know it's the same thing. Nothing's changed. But I want to welcome you to the show if you had just coming in. Thank you. So as I was saying, the fear of becoming too much. You guys, I was actually talking to you on mute. I don't know why, but I was. One of the deepest wounds many women carry is the fear of becoming emotionally overwhelming. Remember, I just talked about how we just continue no matter what's going on, we continue to allow it to go on in our lives, right? So, they start minimizing themselves, right? They soften their needs, shrink their emotions, swallow their anger, downplay their pain and laugh through the discomfort. Apologize for needing help and support. And slowly, many of them start to lose their connection to the authentic emotional voice. You no longer hear, I'm tired, mentally, emotionally, physically. You don't hear that voice anymore, right? Because you've attuned yourself, you've tuned it out, and you've set up a system where you detach from that part of you, right? And it says not because you lack a depth, you still, I mean, it's there, but because they learn survival through emotional containment. I have to survive these people, even though I don't really like them. And I really don't want to be here, but I have to be here. When I think about us doing, uh, like your husband's job has an event that you have to go, you really don't, you're exhausted. Babies crying all day. You did the wrong project at work. Your coworkers having issues and you really don't want to get involved, but they've gotten you involved with their personal life. You have carrying all this. The kids are not acting right, but you have to get dressed up, glammed up to go to this dinner party for your husband. And I'm not talking, this is not about being bougie or anything like that. This is basically sometimes that happens even when he doesn't have that type of highfalutin job, right? It could be you with the job that's like that. And you really don't want to be bothering anybody. You just want to come home and relax. But you can't because now you have to put on, you got to get back into that survival mode or surviving through that night of being around a bunch of fake people that you don't like. You really don't want to deal with. But you have to, right? I'm sorry. I just had to go there. That was my imagination runs wild. So you learn survival through your emotional containment, right? You do it through silence. You do it through endurance, through appearing manageable, right? But healing requires something different. Healing requires honesty. And this is why I told you about my mirror that sits here. It requires me to look at me. It requires me to take off the makeup, the earrings, the nails, the whole 9 yards, and just be me, right? So healing begins when women stop performing strength. Oh, I love that. That goes on a t-shirt. Healing begins when women stop performing strength. Perhaps true healing begins the moment a woman asks herself this: what have I been surviving silently? Let me ask that question again. That's a good journal question, and that's a good question for a good conversation. What have I been surviving silently? not performative, not masking, not intellectualizing, truthfully confronting. Because many women have spent years being emotional available for everyone except themselves. First thing we ask our husband, how's your day? Right? When he comes home. Because what? They say that's required as a wife, that you attend to his needs, his feelings, his emotions. So how was your day today? Oh, I had a bad day. Sam didn't come into work, and you're listening and you're taking on all this and you're taking on his emotions, okay? Because you're carrying his emotion and how frustrating it was for him today. And your job as the wife is to make sure what? He's not uncomfortable when he comes home. That's your job. He might have had a bad day at work, but your job is to make sure the rest of the evening is wonderful for him. Yes. Now, let's not talk about your day. Let's not bring up your day. That's for your girlfriends. That's for you to vent with your girlfriends. He doesn't need to hear all that. You're nagging if you talk about your situation, right? So then the soul grows tired of being abandoned because that's what happens when you are not able to communicate and connect with him. You've got now remember now, you've already carried, you got his burdens already, his emotional download. You've already gotten it. You done picked it up already. Also carrying your own because you're not allowed to emotionally download on him, right? So the body grows tired of carrying unspoken grief and trauma and the uncomfortability. The heart grows tired of surviving without tenderness. Mm, mm, mm. And maybe strength was never supposed to mean emotional isolation. Think about it from that standpoint. Maybe real strength, my nose keeps itching and I don't know why. Somebody's talking about me. Probably is. Maybe real strength looks like asking for help, setting boundaries. Oh, I love that one. Resting without guilt. Yes, yes. Expressing anger honestly. Wow. Choosing peace over performance. So, just so happen if your husband do have a dinner party, you are totally wiped out on all sectors of life. And you tell him, honey, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to allow you, or I'm going to let you go on your own. I can't do it tonight. I'm exhausted. And if he says, baby, we gotta go. You gotta be there. It would not be nice if you didn't show up. They would be wondering if we're having problems. So you have to get up and get dressed and put on your beautiful face and your beautiful dress and pull out your beautiful shoes and your beautiful purse. And you have to show up. It's for me. But I just told you, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Just this one time. I won't make you do it again. The next one we have, I promise you don't have to go. But I'm tired. And I don't feel like it. look, if you go tonight, I promise we'll take you to dinner Saturday. We'll go to dinner Saturday. But I'm tired. I don't care about dinner on Saturday. I am tired. I'm exhausted. I don't feel like smiling tonight. I don't feel like any of that. Well, how dare you say that? You know, one of the things that you have to do is be my, when you're my wife, he's laying down the rules of what you have to, the performances that you have to carry out being his wife, and putting his emotions and his situation first, even though you've screamed it very nicely that you're tired. You can't heal in that. You can be angry in that because I've told you already I don't go. But you have to go. You have to put on that face, that mask. You have to do that. Because you haven't taken time out to look in that mirror at you and put you first. And that's the scary part about being able to live in this world we live in and have strength. And the strength has nothing to do with us being able to be ourselves and heal, right? The performance is very, 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 very important to them. And the way you perform is how you get your Oscar. You get validated. You get loved. You get taken out to dinner on Saturday. Yeah, yes. So maybe women healing begins when women stop proving their worth through strength or through suffering. So let me say that again, because I don't think you get it. Maybe healing begins when women stop proving their worth through all the suffering she does. So let's reflect. To the women who have been carrying life quietly, to women praised for strength while privately exhausted, to the women who learned survival before softness, you were never meant to disappear inside of your pain. You were never meant to earn love through depletion. And you do not have to continue calling silent suffering strength. Okay? Because your emotions are not inconvenience, your needs are not weaknesses, and your softness does deserve protection too. And it's crazy that I'm sorry I keep rubbing my nose and maybe my allergies at the wrong time. And because of this, let's see here. I'm sorry. I just thought about something real quick. I just thought about something real quick before I finish this one. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, y'all. see here. Please forgive me. I just thought about something. Something just went through my head. And I wanted to get to it. I can't find it, what I want. I was looking for something and I can't find it now at all. But that's all right. I'll know the next time to pull it out. Okay. I'm sorry. It just kind of slipped my mind. That's how our mind works. Okay. So understand that your softness deserves protection too. So I am going to leave you with this. And I want you to think about these questions. And these can be journal prompts that you can put into your journals too. So keep that in mind. Number one is, when did you learn to hide your pain? When did you learn to hide your pain? Do you associate strength with emotional silence? What emotions do I or you struggle to express honestly? Number 4, have I confused self-sacrifice with love? Right? And the last question is, what would emotional honesty look like in my life? Yeah. I like that. And before we close out,
like you already know my history, hands in my hair. You say you swear you won't lose me, but I've heard those words on a late night curb in February. So be careful how you kiss me. Every touch rewrites my past. If you're only here for tonight, don't make it feel like it could last. Be careful how you hold me. Don't draw a map you won't follow. If your heart is gone by morning, leave my lips a little hollow. You trace my scars like they're constellations. Or ask who I was before the world made me colder. I laugh it off while every wall is tipping over. So be careful how you kiss me. Every touch rewrites my past. If you're only here for tonight, don't make it feel like it could last. Be careful how you hold me. Don't draw a map you won't follow. If your heart is gone by morning, leave my lips a little hollow. Don't say my name.
a promise you can't keep. Don't make my nightmares sound like dreams I might believe. Oh, just be careful how you kiss me. Every breath pulls me inside. If you're only here for a moment, don't dress it up like forever this time. Be careful how you hold me. If you're already letting go, be careful how you kiss me. I fall faster than you know.
We are back. We are back here on Rooted and Rising Radio morning show, Saturday. So I want to leave this with you guys, and I hope those questions help someone. I hope someone can go back and watch this, and because I am live here on Facebook. But I will hope you go back and watch this and actually think about those questions I asked, and I hope you guys, women in general, I say you guys, but I want to say women in general, really kind of look at how we're living our lives. How much are we pretending to be happy? How much are we pretending to function through all our pain and suffering because we've been taught, we've been indoctrinated, we've been brainwashed to not feel emotions when we're supposed to. Oh, no, not when we're supposed to, because that's what we do. That's the performance. But when things don't always work out, when things don't always, we need to have a reason and a season to make sure that we can release how we feel about things, right? Our emotions are just as important as the emotions and the burdens you carry of other people's. Your burdens should be just as important. So I'm going to leave you with this. Some women become so skilled at surviving quietly, the world never realized how much they were carrying. And a lot of times that's what happens. And I mentioned that earlier. But healing begins the moment silence is no longer mistaken for strength. Stay rooted in truth, and I want you to keep rising. Thank you again for hanging out with us here. This has been Rooted and Rising Radio. You guys have a great evening.